Vibes Cuisine is brought to you by the Best Dressed Chicken, one of the fine products from the Jamaica Brawlers Group, and Lee Kum Kee, authentic Chinese sauces. It's time for the Caribbean cooking show with international flavor, Vibes Cuisine.
Welcome to the Vibes Cuisine Kitchen. I'm your host, Michelle Jones, and on today's show, I'm going to be using my Best Dressed Chicken and my Lee Kum Kee sauces to make a cashew chicken and the world's easiest fried rice like you've never seen before. Let's take a quick look at the recipe and we'll get started. Today's One Pot Wonder features the best dressed whole chicken in a recipe that's a little nutty. The great flavor of cashews adds another dimension to this dish, flavored with our authentic Chinese sauces from Lee Kum Kee. Let's get started. I'm going to start very quickly with my fried rice. The first thing I'm going to do is I have some scallion here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it into half and then fourths, and then I'm just going to chop it up into pretty thin pieces. And a lot of times when people do fried rice, I find that it's just so overdone. I'm doing something today that is so simple and so easy, just so that you can see what you can do with some leftover rice the next day. Quick, easy, and economical. Now I have an egg here. My pan has heated. I'm going to go ahead and crack my egg right into my pan. Turn it right down to low. Add some of my scallions, and I'm just going to go ahead and scramble this egg really quickly. Whoops, look at that, I'm a messy cook today. Now I'm going to add just a few little drops, maybe that's about a teaspoon of my sesame oil, which is going to give it some nice flavor. And I'm going to take this right out of my frying pan, put it back on my stove top, and I turn up my heat to medium. To this, I'm now going to add about a cup of white rice. This is just for me tonight. And I'm also going to add some frozen peas that have been defrosted. They're not cooked, I didn't warm them or anything. They've just been sitting out for a little while. Now I'm just going to heat this through right into the same pan. I'm very messy today. Look at that. Let me actually use something else to turn it with. Let me use this spoon. I think that's probably why I'm so messy. And then I'm going to add a splash. And when I say a splash, I really mean a splash of soy sauce, just to give it a little bit of color. Let me do that right now. Just a splash, just to give it a slight color. Let me go back in with my eggs. And let me also add the remainder of my scallions. That's it for my fried rice. It's finished. That's what we're going to be eating our cashew chicken with today. Everything is turned. Alrighty, now let's get started on our cashew chicken. My pan is heating here. I have about a cup of cashews that are salted, and I'm just going to heat them in my oil. While my cashews are browning, I'm just going to bring up my paper towel. This is what I'm going to drain them on. And I'm going to go ahead and chop my sweet pepper and my onions as well. Now you can really chop these up any way that you want. I'm just going to slice them really quickly. I think that'll be the easiest thing so that they'll cook nice and quick. And I'm going to do that really quickly. Let me just do a quick stir of my cashews. I don't want them to get too dark. And these are actually getting nice and toasty. 2 more seconds and they're actually, you know what, I think they're ready to come out. Let's take them out and drain them on my paper towel because I don't want them to get too dark. And let me just turn down the heat here. And put my vegetables to the side and work on my chicken for a little bit. Then go back to my veg. What I did was I had a whole chicken That was raw, nothing was done to it. I cleaned it and I took all of the meat off of the bone, so it's like a deboned whole chicken. And so what that's going to do, it's going to give me every part of the chicken and the dark meat, the white meat, and because it's cut up into fairly small pieces, it's going to cook quite quickly. And this is actually very economical because it's much cheaper to buy a whole chicken and take the meat off the bone yourself.
The Best Dressed Chicken is one of the fine quality brands from the Jamaica Brothers Group, celebrating an incredible 50 years of serving Jamaican families.
What I've done here is that you can see that they're in small pieces. I'm just going to season it quickly and start. I have some hoisin sauce. I'm going to go ahead and put in about 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. 1, 2, 3. Stir this around. I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch just to coat it. Now I'm going to place this right back into the oil that I used to fry my cashews. Now whilst this is browning, takes no time to cook. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, turn this quickly. It's browning up nicely. The cornstarch is actually going to give it almost like a crispy coating on the outside. A really nice flavor with the hoisin sauce. Let me just go ahead and just slice these really quick. And then I'm just going to put them right into my skillet. Do the same with my onion. I want to cut them up fairly big, but in uniform pieces so that they cook evenly. It's time to add my sweet peppers. I'm gonna rough chop or rough slice my onion.